So guys, 5 great exercises today. Real straightforward, real simple, perfect for beginners, perfect for guys over 40. Hey guys, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I put together 5 great exercises that are really going to be good for guys over 40, especially you guys that are looking to kind of make your fitness comeback journey, guys that haven't been working out in a while, so you know who I'm talking to. I've picked these exercises because we're going to hit every major muscle group in our body, all right? So this is basically going to be a full body workout, but it's not a cardio, it's not a HIIT style. We're doing it, we're in a conventional kind of bodybuilding style. So we're going to do 2 sets of each exercise before you move on to the next. That's for you beginners. For everybody else, intermediate, advanced, you guys need to do 3 sets. And of course, I think everybody should be shooting for about 90 seconds rest in between sets. So without further ado, I want to just jump into it. So today, all you need are some dumbbells and some resistance bands. Now for you guys that like going to the gym, more power to you. Do this workout at the gym. So at the gym, you got tons of dumbbells. And instead of resistance bands at the gym, just substitute and use the cable machines. Those cable machines are actually better than bands, but they're super expensive and nobody has them at home, all right? So the very first exercise is gonna be targeting our chest. I like doing it on a bench. Now, if you guys don't have a bench at home, that's fine. You can do this down on the ground. You might put a big, thick couch cushion underneath your back. That'll get your shoulder blades off the ground and it'll give you a bigger range of motion, which is key, all right? And you'll like it. It'll feel great, all right? But if you got a bench, this is fantastic. I want you guys to pick a weight now that is, moderately difficult to do for 8 to 10 reps, all right? So if you guys have only got 20-pound dumbbells at home and you can knock out 30 reps, all right, with 20-pound dumbbells, you're just not pushing yourself very hard. You need to get heavier dumbbells, or this is the other trick for guys, all right, to make it more difficult to do, you're gonna have to really slow down the tempo on every rep and make that weight feel artificially heavier than it really is. Because the goal is, guys, that once you get to that 8th to 10th rep, you need to be, starting to struggle. You don't have to be at absolute failure, but it needs to be getting pretty darn difficult by 8, 9, 10, okay? That's where you start building muscle, when you add the intensity like that. All right, so 1 set done, give yourself about 90 seconds rest. You beginners owe me 1 more set before moving on. Everybody else, you owe me 2 more sets before moving to the next exercise. All right, exercise number 2 is gonna target our lower body. So I'm gonna have, of course, beginners, you probably are gonna be able to do this just with your own body weight. You probably won't need the added resistance of dumbbells, okay? Guys that are in better shape, that can do your body weight just a gazillion times, you all need to pick up some dumbbells, okay, and make it more difficult. All right, but a basic squat is just this. My feet are a little wider than my shoulders. My toes are pointed out a little bit. And for balance, okay, I always pick a point on the wall in front of me all the time, all right? I've been doing this a long time and I still gotta look straight ahead, all right? Now the first thing, if you're a beginner, some guys tend to do this. They lean forward a little bit, and they start their squat like this. Don't do that. The first thing you want to do is stick your ass out, right? Just stick your butt out, and then that triggers the rest of the movement, all right? Butt out, and that, when you stick your butt out, it helps you keep your back straight and you don't roll over, okay? Butt out, and when I keep my hands in front of me like this, it puts my elbows together, and then guess what? My elbows hit my thighs when I come down. And that tells me I've gotten a pretty good deep squat, okay? Some guys won't be able to go that deep because you got knee injuries or bad hips. All right, just go down as deep as you can, okay? Simple as that. Now, if this is too easy for you, you can do 2 things here. You can use 2 dumbbells and do squats, okay? Or one dumbbell, maybe even heavier, you can do a goblet squat. Is when you hold a single dumbbell like this and just go up and down. So there's a lot of different guys watching these videos. Some are total beginners. Some guys have been working out for a little while, but they're not really advanced, okay? So those are 3 different ways to hit your lower body. All of them are great. Just pick the method that suits your fitness level. All right, exercise number 3 is going to target our back, our lats, all right? This is going to require some resistance bands. Now, guys, these things are cheap. 20 bucks on Amazon. All right, simple as that. You put the anchor at the top of the door, or you could have a really thick hook that you screw into a stud in the ceiling. That's even better. So the higher you can get the anchor point, the more stretch, the more resistance you're going to get. You guys are going to probably need to use all the bands on this one, okay? Because your back is a big, strong muscle group. But this is what I want you guys to do. Load it up, sit down. I like to just kind of cross my legs, and I don't sit too close to the anchor. I move back a little bit here. That'll give me some pre-stretch so that at the very beginning of the movement, I already got some tension, okay? For you guys doing it at the gym, use those cable machines. Those are fantastic, okay? They're better than bands, trust me, all right? But it's the same technique at the gym, okay? Just different setup. So I want you to focus on bringing your elbows down as far and as far back as you can get them. And then slow control movement up, all the way up, and then as far down as you can get it. And then at the bottom, down here, I want you to hold it for a 1 or 2 count. That'll make it a little tougher, especially if you don't have enough band resistance. All right. We're just doing 8 to 10 reps here, guys. When I do these in my garage, it's even better because I got a big hook that I have screwed into my ceiling, into a stud in the ceiling, and it gets that anchor up another 1.5 feet higher, and it just gives me a lot more resistance with those bands. So I have to pull even harder. Much better if you can get that anchor in the ceiling versus just the top of the door. Okay, exercise number 4 is going to target our biceps. Now this is an isolation movement, but I love it, okay? These are called alternating bicep curls. And I'm just going to literally focus on one dumbbell at a time, and notice how I'm supinating or rotating my wrist. As soon as I bring that dumbbell up and the flange passes my thigh here, I immediately start twisting and then rotating it back so that that flange misses my thigh. Now another thing I'll do is I slightly bend to this side. It gives me a little more room for those dumbbells to clear my thighs. And I want you to do 8 to 10 reps. That's on each arm, okay? So that would be, if you're counting 1, 2, that would be 16 to 20 total. But you only need 8 to 10 on each arm. It doesn't matter how you count them. I want good reps, guys. Don't swing those dumbbells up. Don't use momentum, okay? It's about controlling the weight on the way up and the way down. Rest about 90 seconds, and then 1 more set for you beginners. Everybody else owes me 2 more sets. All right, so our last exercise today, number 5, is going to target our triceps. Another great exercise that you do with bands. At the gym, even better, use those cable machines. But tricep pushdowns are probably the single best exercise you can do for your tricep. If you had to just pick one, this would be it, guys. So this has me down on my knees, okay? Now I can get closer to the door here. I don't have to step away like I did with the lat pull down. So a little closer to the door here. And I just kind of like to sit down like this, okay? Now you can tell I already have some good tension already. Now up here, of course, I'd be accomplishing nothing. But this is where I want, and I'm going to try to suck my elbows in and keep them kind of close to my torso here. And I'm going to try to keep my elbows as still as possible. I'm gonna try to keep them in one place. Is I just push down on those handles and then try to lock out my arms at the bottom. And when you lock out your elbows like that, you can really flex those triceps hard. You can even hold it for a 1 or 2 count at the bottom before releasing. And don't let the bands just rip your hands back up like this, okay? I want to control the resistance that those bands are exerting on me all the way up and down, because the concentric part is pushing down. Eccentric is when we're raising our hands. That's just as important as the pushing down, all right? So guys, 5 great exercises today. Real straightforward, real simple, perfect for beginners, perfect for guys over 40. Do them at home with very little expense, all right? Just a couple of dumbbells and some very inexpensive bands. Boom, you got a workout. Perfect way to start your recovery, your journey to your fitness goals. Simple as that. And finally, guys, you got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.